We have 13 members right now. Guys, am I not audible to you? Apart from Spondan and Devolina. So as we all know, today we are here for the webinar on dual career opportunities after law. So are you guys excited for this webinar?
Yes, ma'am.
Only one member is excited for the webinar.
Yes, ma'am.
So guys, I would recommend you all, or I would say I would highly recommend you all to make the most of this opportunity, because in the legal profession, it's very rare to get this opportunity to interact with any senior advocate or any legal professional this directly. So if you are getting this opportunity, make the most of it. Ask as much question as you have in your mind, and interact with the speaker whenever you get the chance to. Because we also know in the legal profession how much legal connection or networking is required. So I would just say make the most of this opportunity. Don't just stay silent throughout the session. Be interactive. So we have 7. Okay, the rest of the members are requested to open their cameras. Guys, am I not audible to you? If I'm audible, Faisal Yadav, I don't need your thumbs up. Faisal Yadav, I want you to open your camera, and I want to see you on the screen. So please open your camera, and all the rest members are also required to open their cameras. Akhi Hetri, Naima Khatun Nari, Kaur, Ratiful Hassan, Sanji Sharaf, Faisal Yadav, Shri Kumari. Please open your cameras, guys. Okay, so ma'am had joined. So let's start the session.
Hello, everyone. How are you all doing?
We are good, ma'am.
That's nice. Okay, so shall I begin, or you want to wait or something? Anything you have to do right now?
Let me welcome you, ma'am. Okay, so
Thank you.
okay. Hi, everybody. This is Khushi and Singh, the founder of Law Talk, and today we all are here for the webinar on real career opportunities after law. So, as we all know, there are diverse career paths in the legal profession, but law students like us are often unaware of that opportunities, because we don't have someone to hold the hand and let us send in the right direction. We don't have someone to show the right career path. So we get a very rare chance that someone like a godfather, we get like a godfather to us. So especially for the concentration lawyers. So at Northrop, I always try to do something and to bring something that I once needed but didn't get in my era. So this session is just another step in that journey. So today we are joined by Advocate Saumya Singla ma'am with us today, and we are truly honored to have you ma'am with us today. And ma'am has been incredibly supportive throughout the planning of this webinar, and yes, we are really grateful to have you with us today, and we are really excited to learn from your valuable insights and your experience. So thank you so much for joining us today. And yes, without taking much more time, I would now like to take ma'am to take over this session. So ma'am, you can carry on.
Thank you so much, Khushi, for your kind words. And thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Okay, so basically, the options you have, you will eventually get it to know by any platform, like on Google itself. Like you just have to put that career opportunities, and Google will give you tak, 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 tak. These are the opportunities you have. But the agenda I have today for you all is to get to know what skills you need and how you can achieve it, because it is important, because we all know these are career opportunities, but what is the real agenda, or what is the real circumstances of that field particularly, and how you can enter into that field from a law student itself or after your law graduation. So I have made a presentation for you all in which I have mentioned clearly all the legal careers you will be having, but it is up to you to decide which career you want to. Okay, so I will begin with the PPT first. Then you can ask what are your questions and what are your opinions. Then we will discuss accordingly. So I'm going to start with PPT first. Okay, so just give me 1 second. Okay, so I hope my screen is visible to everyone. Yes, ma'am. Okay, thank you for letting me know. Okay, so real career opportunities after law. So basically, this is one of my belief that law is not a static set of rules, but a dynamic architecture for society, commerce, and global progress. Today, an LLB is the single most versatile credential in the professional market. By this, I want just to say कि law कोई set of rules नहीं है या set of perspective नहीं है. आप law को हर field में use कर सकते हो और हर situation की change के हिसाब से उसको mold कर सकते हो. Okay, so first and basic litigation practice. I know जब भी law join करते हैं, the first thing comes to okay, law कर लिया, now I'm going to be an advocate. तो litigation practice में आपके पास क्या क्या scope होते हैं? There is you can go to courts, which can be district court, high court, supreme court, tribunal, submission, all the courts. Then eligibility, basic LLB degree. Then जब आप LLB degree ले लेते हो, then you can enroll with state bar council. State bar council में suppose जैसे मैंने भी high court में practice करी चंडीगढ़ में, and मैंने पंजाब हरियाणा high court में practice किया और state bar का मेरा पंजाब है. तो उसमें आप चंडीगढ़ में like ड्यूरिंग योर डिग्री लाइक लास्ट सेमेस्टर और लास्ट ईयर भी कर सकते हो या फिर आप आफ्टर योर डिग्री भी रजिस्टर कर सकते हो. सेम विद योर एआईबी जो एग्जाम होता है, आई नो आपको पता होगा, आई एम अज्यूमिंग द एआईबी इज द ऑल इंडिया बार एग्जाम. उस एग्जाम में क्या होता है कि आप एग्जाम देते हो जो कि ऑल इंडिया ऑर्गेनाइजेशन कंडक्ट करती है. यू क्लियर इट एंड यू गेट योर लाइसेंस, द बेसिक्स. एंड व्हाट स्किल्स यू नीड? बेसिक्स ड्राफ्टिंग, legal research, courtroom advocacy, client management, and negotiation. The basic and the most focused skills of law. A part of this, the skills I want you to know is soft skills. Work on your soft skills as well, like your communication, your negotiations, and psychological management as well. Because you are going to deal with so many clients, you are going to deal with so many colleagues and so many judges itself. So you need to understand the psychology of the person you are going to deal with. How to enter? There are so many options. Like you can join a senior advocate, or you can connect with some firm or anything. Then it is just an entrance, so you can just go with them, assist them, and get the experience. The more experience you gain, the more you will be able to stand in the platform. So growth इसमें बहुत है. लाइक आप इंडिपेंडेंट प्रैक्टिस भी कर सकते हो, आप किसी सीनियर एडवोकेट के साथ कंटिन्यू आप उसको असिस्ट कर सकते हो, आप वहाँ पे लॉ फर्म ज्वाइन कर सकते हो, एंड इट इज अ नेवर एंडिंग प्रोसेस. अनदर वन इज जुडिशियल सर्विसेज. सो जुडिशियल सर्विसेज में बेसिकली क्या है, लाइक you have now the 3-year rule, which is you need to practice in any court as an advocate or some court officer or intern of some judge or legal researcher under some judge. Basically इसका agenda क्या है? You are going to be judge. आपने exam clear कर दिया, very good. बहुत स्टूडेंट बहुत इंटेलिजेंट है, एग्जाम क्लियर कर देते हैं, बट द इशू कम इज दे डोंट गेट टू नो हाउ टू प्रैक्टिकली इम्पैक्ट इट. लाइक कैसे उसको इम्प्लाई करना है, क्या उसकी जो फील्ड वर्क है वो कैसे होता है. तो बेसिकली ताकि उस इंडिविजुअल को कोर्ट रूम डीलिंग आती हो, इसीलिए 3-year रूल को लाया गया है. सो नाउ द एलिजिबिलिटीज, आपको लाइक लॉ डिग्री कंप्लीट करनी है, देन यू हैव टू प्रैक्टिस फॉर 3 years. आफ्टर देन यू कैन अपीयर इन एग्जाम, जुडिशियरी एग्जाम्स. जुडिशियरी एग्जाम करके आप कहाँ पे जज लगते हो? आप लगते हो सबसे पहले डिस्ट्रिक्ट कोर्ट्स में, जेएमसी और डिस्ट्रिक्ट जज. जेएमसी फॉर क्रिमिनल मैटर्स, district judge for civil matters, and this is the one way to be a judge. Another one is high judicial services, which is you in this way you can like practice. इसमें भी 2 चीजें होती हैं, या तो अगर आप एडवोकेट हो तो you practice as an advocate till 10 years, then either you have any it is all based on links and your work you have done. So there are some activities you have covered, then you can shift for transactions for judge. And second one is like you are already a sitting judge in district court, JMC 1 or chief, then you get the promotion for higher court. The skills you need for judicial exams is interpretation of law. Interpretation of law का एक subject भी होता है during your law degree, where you will learn there are so many laws and how can you interpret them. There are so many laws which might clash, or which law will prevail, or what provisions you can use, how can you use, what are the psychology or thoughts behind making that statute. So these are interpretation of law. Legal knowledge. Legal knowledge is not just what you are in your career. It is obviously include interpretation as well. It includes all the other sciences, social sciences, and knowledge you relate to law. Then judgment writing, obviously, so you're drafting in law. There is judgment writing as well. You need to know how to write judgments. And another one is analytical reasoning. You have to be very optimistic and analytical that you want to work for judicial services. Okay. And now, next one is corporate legal paths. You all must be aware of there are other very looming industry law processes for legal paths. So in corporate legal, there are also very many options like commercial legal firms and in-house corporate counsel. So what is the major differences? Commercial legal firms are the legal firm which assist different companies to get their legal matter resolved. Okay, and what is in-house corporate counsel? It is like example, you are working with data agencies and you are handling their matters, their department, their drafting, their contracts, their legislation, every legal matter for data agencies. That is in-house corporate counsel. Commercial law firm is their law firm which is dealing with several companies on different lines. The basic legalities are same. The basic basics is same. You need to know the legal writing, drafting, legal research. But for every special field, you need to get more special skill. Like if you are going for commercial, you don't have to be very psychological, correct or something. But for commercial, you have to be psychological drafting and legal research. Okay. So next one is government services. Government services is first is public prosecutor. We say public prosecutor. They represent state of state in criminal matters. Criminal like we also study criminal law that every law committed in criminal law is not only against the private side, but against the society. So what public prosecutor they represent the society in that matter. So and they solicitor general post and advocate general offices. What they do, they advise and they advise assist government like to Prime Minister, PM, and President, or 21 officers of them, who take advice. They have wanted to their solicitor general. Okay, then another one is law of the research. Prime Minister can know here you need to be very solid legal research and be able to access to research and provide legal knowledge to the specific departments of government. The next one we have is IPR governance. IPR is intellectual property rights, copyright, trademark, patent, everything, design, whatever. The artwork, the work which we preserve the rights of owner, creator, brand, these are all companies all come under the umbrella of IPR laws. So there is a very much scope in IPR because there are so much, growth in industries like we all have social media, AI, artwork, pharma industries. There are so many creative industries and the competition is huge. So every industry want to, outshine and they have some, invention and some things they want to protect and how they get to protect these IPR laws. So they need lawyers to file a trademark to assist them in IPR. It is not to just solicitor, it is to protect them as well. How they cannot be infringed by other. So who take care of all these lawyers? The next one is ADR and arbitration. Court litigation is very, hazard. It is time consuming. It is, mentally consuming, financially very. So there is a very, alternative resolution we have that is ADR. In ADR we have mediation, tribunal, arbitration, and conciliation method. These all. What we can serve is we can play a role of a lawyer, but not in court. It is basically systemic court litigation thing. So here we can get license. License is necessary. Here also you have to be licensed and ADR certified record. What does that mean? You have to be specialized in. It is not mandatory, but if you get any chance to explore or get any course which will give you certification for any ADR application or arbitration, conciliation for any specific field, try to get that one also if you are planning to get ADR or arbitration. So LLB and PrEP, it is better to have license and of course ADR certificate, but it is advanced. These skills require investigation, communication, and drafting awards. Awards here means the order. These are for arbitrators. Okay. So how you can get during your internships or internship, try to get it included with some ADR posters or the lawyers who are already dealing with ADR cases. Get involved into them and assess them and ask them about their experiences. That way you can enter the ADR. Then next we have banking and finance. If you are someone who has interest in banking finance and you also do corporate banking, then you can enter into banking law. Banking law does what it does. Like you will assess banks or some company or their financial issues, or you can get your SMCA and the legal department of that particular field. So basically what comes under banking finance is focusing on large corporate solvency. The issues come to lack of financial statements or delays. So there is so many things because in every field there is financial structure required and all the field requires money and banking. The next one is cyber and data law. So from history to now, the law of data has been evolved. so fast due to the emergence of technology. Technology has become so vast that any of our law, which is physical personal data protection that we have in India, we work on law based on subject personal data. And what it does, it protects every individual or to save their life. And if you for cyber, it protects citizens of cybercrime and any breach of law committed online. So we get all the protection under cyber law, and as a lawyer, we protect them. We make the guidelines. Eligibility is relevant and obviously, and cyber law certification is recommended. Like in our application, हम area administration करते हैं या अगर आप लोगों को कोई course मिले तो like mandatory तो नहीं है but try to get it all done. If you have your mind for application, same thing we have made law mind for cyber data. And also do cyber law certification. These skills obviously you need to be very pro in IT and technology as well as your law skills. How to enter? Obviously, for this skill, enter into try to get maximum cyber degree. If you have any internship opportunity in law field, try to get it done during your internships as well, your courses as well. Then next we have public policy. Public policies, सबको पता क्या होते हैं, like the government policies for welfare of society and the nation. Basically, these are public policies. And as a lawyer or law student, your career option, what we can do, we assist government and parliament offices to in the research and in the laws, as we perform a duty of legal advisor as well. So after public policy, we have academic research. After your LLB, you can pursue LLM, or further you can pursue MPhil. Your MPhil has been resolved. You can go for PhDs, and basically it all involve research and theoretical portion of the law. If you are someone who is very interested in publishing research papers and you are very much into research, then you must go for academics and research. How can you go for if CLAT, ALETS, all these exams, or you can join any professor who is into who is doing his PhD, assist them for their legal work, legal research work, and for publishing. Get in touch with them and include yourself with their work and learn how to write research work, and how to be very good in researching. There is legal editor houses as well, like SSC Online, Live Law, Bar and Bench, or anything. What they do is they keep update like all the laws, cases, what is happening around in legal field. So they also need legal editor house. They also need law students in their offices. So you can also go for this one. The next one is NGO and human rights. So NGO and human rights is you can be a human right activist if you are someone who is very much into social services and welfare things. Then you can join any NGOs or human rights commissions, and you can be a representative of the groups as well. Then next we have is international laws. Obviously you can represent India, and you can represent obviously India in international level. How? Like public international, serving multinational NGOs like UN things, WHO, International Court of Justice. Here you will not dealing with the criminal or civil laws which we are going to do in High Court or something. Here you are going to deal with international issues and affairs of the nation and representing any citizen of India. Okay, so the key skills you need to be very much aware of international law particularly. Then you have to be very particularly known about the treaties and interpretation. Research have to be. So see, there are some skills you need to work on every field. Legal research, drafting. This is something you need to know for every field you are going to be. And next is international relations. You must know the relations of countries. Like you must know what is the relation between India and USA these days, or India and Pakistan, and every neighboring country or every country apart. How can you enter? Obviously join any international organization, global law firms which deal with international laws and cases. The next is legal journalism. They basically do the same work I told you earlier about the SSC legal, Manupatra or any bar and bench and every sources which provide you the legal knowledges and the upcoming scenes of law. What they do is digital court reporting. So किसी भी कोर्ट में आपने देखा होगा कि आज इस कोर्ट में ये चीज हुआ, इस जज ने वो चीज बोली, तो वो कौन करते हैं? वो obviously कुछ मास मीडिया वाले लोग होते हैं, उनके साथ कोई लैब में होते हैं लॉ स्टूडेंट्स और लीगल एक्सपर्टीज. Then we have legal tech and firms. This is also similar to the corporate option we had, which is about legal firm, but it includes more of technical parts. Like जो legal startups होते हैं, कोई entrepreneurs होते हैं, startups plan आप guide कर रहे हैं, चीजें कर रहे हैं, that all comes into legal growth metric. And इसकी growth is ज़्यादा क्यों? Because everything is shifting towards tech and technology. So there are so many industries booming up which have their technical connections and tech needs. So they also need legal lawyers and legal experts who can guide them for every perspective, for the IPR as well, for basic laws and tech laws, for cyber threats and cyber laws. So they all require, in this you need perfection of every small laws like IPR, data protection law, and basic laws, internal laws, and obviously research and everything you need to know. Then we have emerging niche. This is basically what there are some laws or some areas which are growing. That is space law, sports law, and ESG advisory. Space law is, spaces. We have ISRO, we have NASA. So they all need, now they are hiring for legal experts and law graduates who can assist them with the technically as well as legal parameters of the sciences. For the sports law as well, for players like for Indian cricket team or any football team, for every sports which is commercialized, which have their contracts, which have their rules, and everything is involved, finances, branding, everything, which now needs transaction of law, for which they need legal expertise. And same with ESG advisory for industries growing, and for any finances setup or drafting which is blooming, they also need legal expertise. So this is a basic you can say current situation of different career of legal fields with their income, stability, and growth. So you can see in every field there is growth. It is you who need to know about yourself, that what are your skills, and more of that, what is your interest, what are your preferences, so that you can outshine in that particular area. And this skill blueprint, like as a law student, what you can do by till your graduation done to be a very हम बोलते हैं उसको कि आप एकदम उनके लिए प्रॉपर कैंडिडेट हो, तो उसके लिए आप क्या चीज कर सकते हो. फर्स्ट, बेसिकली इफ यू आर इन योर फर्स्ट ईयर, ट्राई टू डिस्कवर व्हाट आर योर इंटरेस्ट, व्हिच फील्ड you find very attractive or very much for you, and how can you learn code petition format, register procedures, and basic commercial drafting structures. This is because of basic learning phase. Then year 2 analysis, start developing legal research, contract research methods, legal writing styles, so that you get to know what is happening in that particular area. Year 3, advocacy. For advocacy, what you need to polish up, these are your communication skills, your negotiation skills, and everything which includes your soft skills as well. Year 4 and 5, that is it should be completely focused on your internships. I'll tell you about internships as well after this PPT, like for what course or what profession or what specific field you want to opt, what actual internships you need to do, I'll tell you this. But for this time, make sure you do maximum internships, and by internships, I mean internships by heart. Don't just do internship to get certificate for your degree or semester's course. No, if you are doing internships, if you are investing your time, please इतना जानो उसमें कि इस फील्ड में अगर आप ये इंटर्नशिप करो, suppose you are doing an internship in some district court, at least get your exposure properly, that what is the working conditions or what is the working mechanism of the court, so that you get to know, are you going to continue with this work, are you comfortable working in this court or not, in this litigation profession or not. The same way for the other field as well. So after this, these are some market overview, like industrial challenges क्या आ रहे हैं आजकल law field में. These are saturated market. Obviously, you all must know there are so many law graduates every year pass. So there is so much volume of candidates applying for every legal field. But what makes them outshine is their personal skills, which includes your law skills, your hard skills, plus your soft skills. Technology shift, because earlier what we do is we used to use volumes for legal research and books and everything. But these days, like 2-3 years back, we used to do Google. But these days, what we do, AI, ChatGPT, and everything. Then early earning in traditional court system or maybe in corporate as well. You during your internships, there is very financial crunch you are going to face. Being very honest, you are not going to earn lakhs or something very high in starting. Obviously, no doubt, legal field is very much famous for the finances they get or the income thing. But in your starting, you have to be. It is a ramp work. Like the more you learn, the more you gain. Otherwise, it is going nowhere. की अपॉर्चुनिटी सेम वे, अगर मार्केट बढ़ रही है, लोग अगर एंट्रेंस बढ़ रही है, लोग ज्यादा हो रहे हैं, एडवोकेट ज्यादा हो रहे हैं, मार्केट की बढ़ रही है, टेक्नोलॉजी ग्रो कर रही है, डिफरेंट सेक्टर्स ब्लूम कर रहे हैं, तो अपॉर्चुनिटीज भी ऑब्वियसली बढ़ रही हैं. डिजिटल कोर्ट रूम्स की अपॉर्चुनिटीज आ रही हैं, लाइक और ग्लोबल मार्केट में एरिया मैकेनिज्म हो गया, ग्लोबल हो गया, इट इज ऑल इंक्रीजिंग. सो दैट वे अपॉर्चुनिटीज आल्सो इंक्रीजिंग. इट इज यू हु गेट द अपॉर्चुनिटी और गेट ट्रैप इनटू challenges. So the next one is up to you now. It is all from my side about the PPT thing. See, PPT was something which I just wanted to make you go through the opportunities basically you have. But the main thing comes now. I want you to ask what are your preferences. You have made your mind for what field. If you haven't, and if you want to ask me how you can make your mind for particular field or anything, you can individually ask them. We are open for conversations now because that's how we can, discuss about the actual real opportunities we have. So now you can ask me. You can raise your hand or unmute yourself so we can discuss so that you and your fellows get to know. Yeah, Debulina, you please.
I am trying to crack judiciary exam from West Bengal board. What is the way of cracking judiciary?
So are you in a law school right now or have you passed?
Law school second year.
Okay. Debulina, so if you are in a law school right now in second year, make sure you thoroughly go with your barracks, of course, and be friend with barracks because जो आप barracks सीखोगे law ना समझ पाओगे उसको a part of the language only barracks से बहुत होते हैं कि क्या intention थी वो law को add करने की या उसको आपको interpretations वगैरह सब चीजें आपकी law school में आनी चाहिए. And for judiciary you like judiciary के लिए आपको barracks से अपने local laws से plus make a habit of reading newspaper because you need to be very, very aware of everything going around your society, especially locally. So start reading newspaper. Make a habit of giving at least 2 hours per day to your preparation. And obviously, first you have prelim. So start, asking yourself if I'm reading some particular section or article, then why? What is the reason behind it? What are the questions it can come? So make it accordingly. So I guess that way it will be a little bit easy for you to crack. I guess.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. If I'm pronouncing it right, Spandan or what?
From Department of Calcutta University.
Okay.
Good afternoon. My question is that you mentioned about sports law and the career revolving around it. So how should I approach in that field? Because there are not many opportunities that I usually come across regarding sports law, and what are the things to do with regarding the sports law?
Okay, so about this, first of all, you need to know which industries are covering sports law, like which are the firms or which are the offices. You get to know all the data from Google itself. Then try to get connected with them, email them your resume, and ask for internship first. Like every legal firm or in-house counsel who is dealing with a particular sports area, they all have legal offices, they all have legal website. Try to approach them and please make it very formal, only mail them and try to get into the contact. That way you can enter into sports law.
And follow-up question regarding this itself is that is there a specialization that is available at this moment that needs to be done?
For LLM, I don't think so there is any, but for your PhD, yes, there is. Like after once you're done with your LLM, you can choose sports law as your subject for research for your PhDs.
Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
So is there anybody else who wants to question, ma'am?
Shubhangi and Pushpreet, they want parts. Anyone, Pushpreet, let's go for you first.
Good afternoon, ma'am. I wanted to ask you about that, the judge advocate general position in Indian Army, but you have not mentioned it here.
Okay, my bad. So we have option of JAG. What is it? JAG के लिए eligibility क्या होता है कि जो advocate general होते हैं, which serve Indian Army, the 3 wings of Indian Army, Navy, Air, and Navy, Air, and Army as well. So for this eligibility is first to get done with your LLB, then you have to appear CLAT PG. The score you give, it is very much essential for your JAG entry. After you clear your CLAT, then you will be going for 5-day SSB. In SSB you have your screening test and all the procedure, like it has your psych test, your every law test, your group discussions and everything. Once you get clear every step of SSB, then everything medical and something, that way you can enter into as a lieutenant in Indian Army with JAG thing. There are very few seats, I guess, 4 for women, I guess, who get selected through JAG every year. But it is a very good scope if you are into it. I myself, someone who has done NCC during her graduation, C certificate and everything, I am also very much keen into JAG entry. I am planning, I have cleared CLAT PG. So this is a very good opportunity if someone is planning. So yeah, go for it.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Welcome. Yes, Shubhangi. Shubhangi, you can unmute yourself.
Shubhangi, are we not audible to you? Okay. Someone has dropped their question in the chat box.
Okay, I'll see that. Ma'am, you mentioned example of an in-house data group, similar can Ma'am, Khyati is asking, ma'am, you have mentioned the example of in-house counsel position in the data group. Similarly, can law graduate work as an in-house counsel or legal officer in the government bodies? Yes, Niti Aayog, yes, you can. Or other ministries, departments that have their own legal divisions or are such legal role primarily filled through legal, the Ministry of Law and Justice. Yes, Khyati, you can obviously, the way there are in-house counsels for private sectors, same way there are legal advisories and legal bodies which deal with which advise government. So yes, you can. Niti Aayog is very much available for internship, so you can apply to Niti Committee. And there are so many tribunals as well for government, for environment. There is some different tribunal, and for data act, there are so many tribunals which also give you the opportunity for internship, so you can apply to that also because there are also some advisory government bodies, the national tribunals. The next one is Komal is asking, how do I apply in the banking sector to a legal advisor on the bank side? Is there an exam? Yes, after your LLB, there is an exam for banking exams for legal field as well. So there are banking exams, so you can apply for that exam and you get cracked. Then that way you will get into banking field. For corporate sector, Shubhangi is asking, particularly subjects you need to focus for corporate sector. See, it depends on which corporate sector you want to go in. Like if you are planning for some particular, like some, someone like who is dealing with finances, or someone is doing IPR or some cyber or any specific law, then obviously you have to be specifically much focus on that portion. But if you are someone who's seeking for law firms or any in-house counsel, then make yourself, perfect with the basic, like legal research, drafting, and the laws should be like your civil laws, Indian civil laws, and your all the like criminal laws. You have to be very particular about all the laws. There is no such particular, but if you are going for specialization, then that specific subject must be, much focused. For a law degree, you have to give a try to every law subject because you never know which subject is going to be your career. Any other question you have with you? Dekulina,
But is there any hard website for arbitration? Arbitration is
pardon me, please repeat.
Is there any firm who was dealing with the arbitration?
Firm dealing with arbitration.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, there are so many firms. Like there in Chennai, there is a Royal Law Firm, and all the big firms we have, they all have their department who is dealing with the arbitration matters. So there are so many firms. Yes, there are.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, guys. So are you done with your question? How many of you are left to question? And some people just joined us. I want to say them that please join on the time because the session is over. And this is the question part.
So if you don't have any such question by now, I just want to give you some short tips. And the major one is coming in my mind right now is start building your connections and your networks. Because the moment you step out from your colleges into any field, be it litigation or corporate or any other specific career, you need to have connections. And especially if you're some first generation lawyer, it is so difficult to get your connections done because you don't have any legal background with you. So, and how you can do it, the way I used, make your LinkedIn profile. Obviously you don't get the opportunities coming through LinkedIn like this. Okay, I have made my LinkedIn, I have connected with people, and there are coming options. Okay, apply for this, you are hired or something, you got your case. No, that is not coming. But you will get your connections. There are so many good advocates, there are so many CEOs of the companies and the HRs who's they are on LinkedIn. Connect with them, send connection to them, connect with them, and they keep on posting about the opportunities they have, or make it. And they do post about anything they do. Appreciate them and try to get small talk. Obviously not like good communication with them and start building your network the earliest possible. Okay, so this is one of the tips I wish to tell you, and start working on your soft skill as well as your legal knowledge, because you will get to know, especially if you're someone who's planning for litigation, you get to know it is easy. Sections, no one is expecting you to memorize all the sections. No one is expecting you to memorize every law. But what they are expecting you to be very much capable to represent themselves in court, and you are going to be dealing with clients. You are going to deal with so many fellow advocates and judges and other legal fields. So you need to be psychologically very optimistic, and you should be knowing what are you and how to deal with the client. Crack your exams during law course, but to tell you very clearly, it is very difficult to hold on your client. So for that, you need to be very much psychologically aware, like how to get client counselings. You have to be very apt on that. And this is very you are all welcome if you are someone who is around Punjab and Haryana jurisdictions. If you want to get any internships, if you want any experience of law firm or any experience, you can approach me for internships. I'll get you set with some other advocate if I am already having some intern, or you can ask me out if you want that exposure. There's a question. How much importance are activities such as no court, competition, debates, genuine, and this much shaping successful legal career? Do employers and recruiters generally consider these achievements for every? Let me be very clear. These जो ये moot court होता है, आपका client counseling, जितने भी आपके activities होते हैं during your law school, these are not something if you don't attend you will miss something big. But yes, these are very much important because they will give you a gist of practical exposure. Because in moot court you get to be very much good in communication, your legal research and your draftings. The basics core are same, legal research and drafting. So they will help you to be in that mind how to work in pressure and how to go through the basic practical area of the law. So they are important. And talking about if you are the recruiters and the companies will not select anyone based on CV completely, you send your CV if they like. Okay, so they by CV in CV if you have mentioned your moot court competition, your achievement, they will get to know if he's someone or she's someone who is dedicated towards their field. They are committed, they are disciplined because they have done this much thing, so they are interested, they are hardworking. So this is a plus point, obviously. But अगर वो लोग completely उसके basis पे होता है, no, they will book make a point, arrange a interaction or interview session. The person you will reflect, you will get selected by that. What else we have now? Any question or anything you want to correct me on, or anything you want to suggest me or something? Okay, मुझे 5 मिनट का किसी का बेला डाउट होता है कि यार लॉयर है, मैम है, वो चीजें, but as a friend you need someone, or as a senior you need someone, you can always approach me and See, I'm also learning as I got my license in last year August 25. I am learning a lot and एक और चीज सब बोलते हैं कि आप लॉज पढ़ रहे हो, लॉ पढ़ने के बाद आप कोर्स में जाते हो वो बहुत डिफरेंट होता है, जो लॉ होता है कुछ काम नहीं आता है, बहुत डिफरेंट होता है. इट इज अ मिथ, मतलब व्हिच आई एक्सपीरियंस इट इज अ मिथ बिकॉज ऑब्वियसली डिफरेंट है. बट जो ये स्टेटमेंट होती है ना कि पूरी काम नहीं आती है, वो आती है बिकॉज यू आर गोइंग टू फाइट ऑन बेस ऑफ दैट लॉ. जो सेक्शंस हैं वो चेंज नहीं होंगे. तो प्लीज डोंट वेस्ट योर टाइम बाय सेइंग कि आप लॉ में पॉलिसी कुछ भी कर रहे हो. आप जो सेक्शंस पढ़ रहे हो दीज आर गोइंग टू बी योर बेसिक फॉर योर प्रैक्टिस. ऑफ कोर्स चीजें बहुत डिफरेंट तरीके से होती हैं. अगर आपके लॉज में लिखा हुआ ये चीज 3 महीने में सॉल्व हो जाएगी, सिविल में ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता है, किसी बहुत लंबी भी चलते हैं, चीजें डिफरेंट तरीके से होती है, नो डाउट. बट बेसिक्स शुड बी क्लियर. श्रेयू कुमारी, if you want to ask.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
हाँ जी.
Ma'am, like, what kind of work do we have to do in the corporate field? Like, I'm currently a first year video editing student, so
Okay. What kind of work you are going to do in corporate field? This is what we're asking.
yes, ma'am.
Okay, so basically there are departments of legal research, legal drafting, and some of them are appearing as well. So corporate में आप अगर आप कुछ legal firms join कर रहे हो जो कि assist करती हैं different companies को या client को for their legal matters, then you are going to deal with all the legal research work, legal drafting, and your court appearances as well. And same way if you are joining some in-house, then you are working for that particular company. And what else I want to do? I just forgot. I'm sorry. Yes, these are.
Ma'am, I'm currently pursuing a career in the judiciary after studying corporate law.
You want to ask about judiciary after a corporate job?
Yes, ma'am.
See, you can. Obviously, there is option. For judiciary, there is certain age limit, which is, I guess, kind of 5 to 7 years of age gap between your years of gap from your completion of law degree and judiciary. But आजकल जो 3 years का रूल है, how will you get it? Like you need for 3 year experiences, you need court exposure. Court exposure is 4. So अगर वो corporate field में law firm है, which is dealing with court cases and court areas, then obviously you can. But if it is someone who is not giving the court exposure, then it will be slightly difficult for you to be eligible only for judiciary.
Okay, ma'am. Thanks, ma'am.
Welcome. For students who want to develop the current market AI issue and services and what would be the most practical path for final 1.6 stable high growth over the next 10 years? You are taking gap of 10 years. Okay. See, obviously चेंज हो रहा है सोसाइटी में बहुत ज्यादा एग्रीशिप हुआ है क्योंकि हमारी सोसाइटी जनरल बहुत चेंज हो रही है, ग्रो हो रही है और मार्केट ट्रांस हो रहा है, चीजें हो रही है, जियोपॉलिटिक्स एंड कंसीडरिंग ऑल द फैक्टर्स. ऐसा कोई फील्ड नहीं है कि आप उसमें आंख बंद करके जाओ एंड आप आउटशाइन कर जाओगे, आप बहुत पैसा लगोगे, आपको बहुत फेमस हो जाओगे, आप बहुत सक्सेस होगे. देयर इज नो सच करियर. बट इन एवरी फील्ड इफ यू आर समवन विल फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल मेक योर माइंड कि आपका इंटरेस्ट किसमें है. आपका इंटरेस्ट जिस फील्ड में होगा, कॉर्पोरेट, जुडिशरी, लिटिगेशन, एनीथिंग जिसमें आपका इंटरेस्ट है, आप उसमें बहुत ज्यादा अपने आप को लाइक परफेक्शन की साइड लेके जाओ एंड मेक योरसेल्फ पर्टिकुलर विद एवरी लॉ. और जो भी एलिजिबिलिटीज है, आपको उसमें कोई सॉफ्ट स्किल चाहिए या फिर बेसिक ड्राफ्टिंग है, बेसिक आपका लीगल रिसर्च है, उसको सॉलिड करो सो दैट आपको उसमें ऐसे कुछ जरूरी ना पड़े कि हमें बहुत क्राउड झेल रही हूँ या बहुत अनसर्टेनिटी. ऐसा नहीं है कि अगर आपने आज जुडिशरी की तैयारी करी और 2 साल बाद जुडिशरी का पेपर नहीं होगा, ऐसा नहीं है, होगा. बट कंपटीशन के हिसाब से आपको एक ही सीट चाहिए देखो. सो मेक योर, बेशक कंपटीशन में वहाँ पे 1000 लोग हैं, 20,000 लोग हैं, 90,000 एप्लीकेंट्स हैं, डजंट मैटर. आप अपने आप को इतना एक्सपर्टाइज कर दो. अगर कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम है तो एक्सपर्टाइज कर दो, लॉज में इतना अच्छे से पढ़ो एंड गिव योर बेस्ट टू द एग्जाम सो दैट आप अपना मार्क्स स्कोर करो. तो वो मैटर नहीं करेगा कंपटीशन कितना, वो ऑब्वियसली वो फोकस नहीं होना चाहिए आपका उस टाइम फोकस होना चाहिए कि मुझे अपने एफर्ट्स लगाने हैं. तो कुछ एलिमिनेशंस हमारी उस बेसिस पे होगी. अगर हम ये लेके चलते हैं कंपटीशन बहुत ज्यादा है या ये चीजें बहुत ज्यादा है, चैलेंज बहुत ज्यादा है, तो अगर उस बेसिस पे एफर्ट्स कम लगाएंगे तो ऑब्वियसली हम लोग बैकफॉल करेंगे. पर्टिकुलर लीगल करियर में सच कुछ फील नहीं कर सकते आपके माइंड में क्योंकि सबके डिफरेंट इंटरेस्ट होते हैं. इफ यू आर समवन हु स्टैंडिंग फॉर कोर्ट लिटिगेशन प्रैक्टिस, तो आपको इजीली 2 साल जाएगा आफ्टर लॉ डिग्री सीखने में. उसमें कुछ लॉ फर्म्स होती हैं जो आपको इनिशियल स्टेज पे पे करेंगी, कुछ होती हैं उसे वो भी आपको बस मिनिमम पॉकेट मनी टाइप अमाउंट्स पे करेंगी. बट द मोमेंट यू स्टार्ट डीलिंग विद योर केसेस एंड यू हैव बिकम काइंड ऑफ फेमस इन योर फील्ड, देन देयर इज अ ह्यूज अपॉर्चुनिटीज कमिंग टुवर्ड्स यू. सेम वे विद अदर स्पेसिफिक करियर्स वी हैव. I want to know what skills are required for international relation fields. For international relation fields, you have to be very much prompt in international laws, the theoretical part. Plus, you have to be very much aware about the start reading newspaper feeds and ये सब फील्ड वालों के लिए, not for international laws. हर फील्ड के लिए because you need to be very much aware of what is happening around you and your surroundings. So by that you get to know what is going on and what is everything. So start reading newspaper. Be very much profound in your communication, your law research, and your interaction and connections. And by skill, obviously, you have to be very much lawful towards your career. For students who want to build a career in corporate law is doing CS really. If we don't pursue CS, can you please let me know what are you referring CS? What are you referring for? Is it computer science? Company secretary. Okay. If you don't pursue CS, will you have any? No. Obviously, if you will pursue company secretary or the course, it will give you plus point. But if you don't, that you are not falling behind from any eligibility for getting into corporate field. No. It is not a mandatory thing. It is just giving you a plus point.
Okay, is there any other question left? Okay. So I hope you guys have filled the feedback form because without that we won't be able to issue your certificate. And Spandan, you can now deliver.
So once again, good afternoon to everyone. So on behalf of Team Lotto, I extend our heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed speaker, Advocate Saumya Singla, for sharing such valuable insight on real career opportunities after law. Thank you for your time, guidance, and practical wisdom that truly inspired all of us, ma'am. We are also grateful to every participant who joined us and made this session interactive and meaningful one. Special thanks goes to our team members for the efforts in organizing this event smoothly. With that gratitude, and hope to host many more engaging sessions like this. Thank you all once again from Team Lotto. Thank you.
Okay, so thanks so much, everybody, for joining the session.
Thank you everyone. Thank you, Kushi, and thank you, Team TROVE, for organizing it and having me. I also get very much interaction with you all. I'm obliged. Thank you for having me. Bye, everyone.
Thank you so much, mom.